Good morning to everybody. And I mean good morning, literally. This is pretty serious stuff. And I'll get to that in a second after my first cup of coffee, my first sip. This is my first coffee since my, whatever you want to call it, food poisoning slash allergic reaction. That's what I was going to say. It all depends on how you think of it. Very quick story. Before I get into this is like an introduction. Okay. First time I went to Burger King and I had that marvelous chicken sandwich that I love so much. That was fine. Second time I came back, my stomach was a little off for a few hours, but I never really noticed it. Didn't make the correlation. Third time I went, I had diarrhea the next day. I had curdles. I had real bad stomach ache. Still didn't make the connection. And then afterwards I went, because I remembered where I eat, and it became more and more important to remember what I eat and when, right? And the healing process. 2 days ago, I go to Burger King and I have the same sandwich. Guess what? The next day, I woke up with an intense pain in my back, probably kidney. And the rest of the day was spent, yes, throwing up and not being able to keep anything down. My stomach was like this. And when I go out to see my neighbor, because by this time I was exhausted, I had no energy left, she says, you must be getting an allergic reaction to something. And I said, yeah, my allergy is to fake food and to fast food. I swear to God, with McDonald's once, with Burger King. You know why? Because you're taking care of what you eat. You're very selective, and your body says, no, you're not getting that. So I haven't done anything serious yet. I haven't regurgitated yet, or what's the word? Thrown up yet in this case. So it looks good. Yes. Good morning. This is 6:30, no less. This is episode 31 of Learn to Unlearn. Return to healing. And that's what this is all about. I started this show 30 sessions ago because I had a big fight with modern medicine. And I had to prove to myself, and literally showing everybody else after that yes, you can heal yourself, and no, you don't need chemo and radiation and have your organs ripped out like it was the 16th century. You don't have to. And this is a chronicling show of what what I'm experiencing week by week. And the powers that be are paying for my medicine for doing this, which is wonderful. And I'm taking cannabis oil, different types of cannabis, and I'm watching what I eat. And for those who want to see my regimen, it shows like 1 to 5, 1 to 6 maybe, where I talk about the SCAC tea that I'm taking, and the various ways of really finding out what your body wants and not what this needs. It's what your body wants. And you end up learning how and developing a way to talk to your body to find out what it needs and when. That's a good cup of coffee today. So I thought this morning, I said to myself, we're going to do a show this morning, or we're going to do a show this afternoon. And after thinking about it, it was like, you know what? It's so important for people to really learn how to treat themselves. Remember way back then, like in the 20s or the 20s or the 30s, when there wasn't any ER, there wasn't any hospital to go to. You had to take care of it on your own, right? Or before that, or whenever, you know what I'm saying, that type of era. I said to myself, this has got to be a very important message in this show too, because this is essentially what I'm doing. I'm not going back to the hospital, because as soon as you do now, it's going to be COVID-19. So I've grown to have a serious distrust in them, because they don't know what they're doing. Basically, they're just being told what to do, and they're being told what to do by Rockefeller medicine. Remember that line, being told what to do, because this is coming. Remember that line. Everybody's being told what to do by people who really don't know anything about what they're doing, but they know the agenda. And the agenda basically is sickening people and profiting from their illnesses. And this is what I keep saying. And that's when I lose people like my brother. It's like, oh, forget it. Oh, here we go again. You know, well, in order to learn from history, there are some of us that will learn not to repeat our mistakes, and there are others that will make sure that the mistakes are repeated, but done better next time. So for the people in my category, you know, it's all about showing people what you know, and it's completely illegal for me not to share what I know after researching for over 25 years, because it's in your face every day. And this meme in particular became in my face for years. And last time I saw it yesterday, after going through everything I went through, and when my stomach was finally calming down and I was able to drink peppermint tea, and I started being able to eat something for the, you know, digest or ingest something for the first time yesterday, this showed up. And this meme is too powerful not to share. And we have to start the show with this. Okay, so we're going to go through this. I just want to read this to you, because for the people that don't know, and for the people that either can't or don't want to or don't know how to research, here's somebody that's coming to you in your face, telling you what happened for the last 80 years. And this is really serious stuff, okay? We're talking about exposing 9/11. We're exposing, you know, criminal government enterprise. Well, this is a big one, and I'd like to read it to you. The reason why cannabinoids appear to cure so many illnesses is because prior to prohibition, they were part of the food chain. And this is really important. They were part of the human food chain. Dairy cows ate feral hemp, which was rich in CBD and passed to humans through their milk. Pigs, chickens, and other livestock were also fed hemp, and the CBDs were in their meat and eggs. Let's stop there for a second, okay? Because then in the 1930s comes in Harry Anslinger. Who's Harry Anslinger? Well, find out who he is. He was one of the first, he was actually the first Food and Drug Administration representative, a prohibitionist, we can call him. And up come at least 10 to 15 quotes of his about marijuana, not with an H, with a J at that time, because they blamed the Spanish for that one. And it was some of the most ridiculous and unheard of, you know, like just ludicrous quotes. And I'm sharing a couple of them here. But why did they do that? You know, something that's in the food chain. We were, and you can Google this too, we were the healthiest, among the healthiest countries in the world before this happened, before this prohibition started against marijuana. Why is that? Because it was curing everything. Satan comes in and says, no, we got to make money. Rockefeller comes in with his Rockefeller medicine. And that is a show in itself, folks, because if you really want to know the damage that, you know, everybody thinks that the doctors are God and they know everything, and they're just, you know, beginning and end all of everything. Medicine, it's not true. And I'm here to prove that, because my argument with them, with the medical establishment, comes from the fact that they don't know sweet beep of what they're talking about. And I proved it many times to them. And they were not happy the last time. So basically, getting back to this, it was part of the human diet. Okay? It was part of the human diet pre-30. The government, okay, beginning in 1937. I thought it was earlier than that. the government eradicated all forms of feral and cultivated hemp, thus eliminating CBD from the human diet, of which it had been a part of since prehistorical times. It's really hard to say that because it's so true. Okay, so you're taking something. We actually have what they called endocannabinoidal system. It's an endocannabinoidal receptors in our brain, and it's been a part of our being for as long as anybody can remember. So they're taking everything away. They're taking all this hemp away from us since prehistorical times. Okay, the rest of the story, you guessed it. 80 years of human suffering and misery, untold millions of needless deaths, all caused by prohibitionists who supported outlawing hemp for one reason and one reason only, because they were told to. See what I mean? Because they were told to. That line from before, we're just following orders, right? Americans were duped by the government for the past 80 years. So I'm backtracking with this. I'm taking as much, not really CBD, but it's THC that I need in the cannabis to cure my cancers. 2 of them supposedly that I have, and they weren't even sure that I did have it in the first place. But that's beside the point. So this is really a quick show to just let people know, hey, I just came back from food poisoning yesterday because I went to, like, I'm really taking care of what I eat. If people know about the last 30 shows that I've done, sometimes I'll talk about what I ate and what happened, and greens this and uh, apple cider vinegar this and that, and this is what's happening. I'm healing myself. So you take somebody who's on a regimen like that and go to McDonald's for one time, and your body goes, And I'm really privileged. I feel really honored that my body reacted like that, believe it or not, because that tells me that I'm on the right path, and that's really good. I had Roger Laundrie laughing his head off on the phone when I told him that, because you had food poisoning, or you think so, and you didn't go to the hospital. It's like, no, I just sat there and took care of myself, threw up a couple of times, and worked my way around it. And we have to learn how to be able to trust ourselves. We have to learn how to go inside. Okay, what's wrong? What do you need? And it really works. And there's no such thing as not knowing. You're in God's territory when you're talking about your own body and your own being and going inside and meditating. That's no longer human territory. So we're talking about all this stuff, and it's not even 7:00 yet in the morning for me. But again, this show is basically about healing from cancer. And it's an incredible opportunity that we have, or that I have, to be able to do this, because, it will be remembered. And the reason why, and I apologize for this, but the reason why we have to talk so much about the political side of everything is because it is so much relevant, as you just saw. And that's for CBD. Okay. And the only reason why feral hemp, CBD, and all that were taken away from us is because they wanted to make big pharma, and they wanted to profit from us. So how do we profit from people? Well, we can't profit from people when they're healthy. So let's give them petrochemicals. Hey, I do a lot of oil, and I have a lot of refuse from my oil. Let's make chemical poisons with that, and let's start there. Okay. And this is basically what Rockefeller did in the nutshell. He went and bribed medical schools. And there's that 8-minute video that I'd love to share on that. But I mean, we always keep doing these shows and we keep repeating ourselves. But this is what's really happening. We have to take control of our lives ourselves. And you become a sovereign being, and everything changes for you after that, because it's like you're empowered by your own health that you're manifesting and that you're arranging for yourself. And you're not accountable to anybody else, and you don't depend on anybody else for your medicine or your health, or this is where we stand. So it's a really good opportunity to share and to do shows like this about things like this, because this is a show on healing. We'll be right back. My final message, here it is. Coffee. I don't know how the Indians got along without it. And the black race invented coffee, in case you didn't know. This is another episode of Learning to Unlearn and Returning to Healing. And it's important to do this and to maintain the schedule, because every week is going to be different. Every week is going to bring something else. So this was an awesome time for me to be able to be with you and to talk to you and to relate the story that I got this week. I didn't, no, I won't, that won't happen again. What happened yesterday to me? No. Food poisoning / allergies, whatever. No, it just means that my body is not going to tolerate anything less than what I've been putting in it, which is awesome. So until next week, have a good week, and don't forget the coffee.